Hey guys, I'm John, this is Nick, and this is Akil, and today we're talking about data breaches. The two companies that we chose was Yahoo and Sony. So what is a cyber attack? A cyber attack is when a hacker tries to gain access to a computer system with malicious intent. Most of the time they're going to be looking to try to steal personal information from the users of the site or the company to either sell off or do something else with. Hackers can gain access to your computer in many different ways, including malware and ransomware. Malware is basically just viruses they use to gain access and steal information. And ransomware is when they can lock up your computer and basically ask for money for an unlock. So data breaches. A data breach is when there is an unauthorized access of sensitive information. The access can be caused by hackers or potentially people who work for the company. If it's people who work for the company, this is an inside job, so people who have access to this sensitive information could be the ones stealing it. Oftentimes, attackers are trying to make financial gains by accessing personal information and either using or selling this information. Data breaches will oftentimes affect the company's reputation in a negative way. Obviously, because the users lose trust in the company's security and not going to want to use them anymore. Some countries have implemented laws that require companies to disclose if they had a data breach immediately, such as the United States, Canada, and the European Union.
So Yahoo was created in 1995, making it one of the pioneering websites of the modern internet age. It used to be one of the most popular sites, especially in the early 2000s when it hit its peak. It started declining in the late 2000s, probably around 2008, to become the 6th most globally visited site in 2018. However, that does not change the fact that Yahoo is still worth over $1 billion, making it one of the most powerful companies in the world. Verizon bought Yahoo in 2015 for $4.48 billion. However, Microsoft offered to buy Yahoo in 2008 for $44.6 billion. The original attack on Yahoo happened in August of 2013. Yahoo did not disclose any information about it until 2016 when they found out that the attack happened. The other attack that happened that they disclosed in 2016 was an attack in 2014. That attack disclosed the information of about 500 million users. The first attack in 2013 disclosed the information of about 3 billion users on the Yahoo site. The only information taken was personal information and passwords, so no credit card information, but it could link to other banks and other sites. There was no definite resolution for the 2013 hack. They were not able to find who the hackers were for it, but the 2014 hack was related to 2 Russian spies and 2 other external hackers, one being Canadian who was arrested last year. The 2013 attack, the information was found on the dark web, so they do know that it has been sold at least several times, so the information is publicly available.
So PlayStation was created by Sony in 1994, and it's one of the most successful game stations. Sony's worth around $30 billion, and there are 4 different consoles that Sony has released so far, with PS4 being the fastest selling console to date, because in the first 24 hours it sold about 1 million consoles. The attack wasn't, according to Sony, the attack for the data breach was an external intrusion, meaning that the attack happened from out of the company, out sources, and it compromised millions of accounts, and personal information was taken from each of these accounts. The attack occurred from the 17th to the 19th of April, and Sony's network was down for at least a month. Not all of the services came back until a month later. The attack forced Sony to turn off the PlayStation network on April 20th, and they gave the original statement that the systems were simply down because of maintenance. And on May 4th, Sony confirmed that the amount of accounts compromised were approximately 77 million. Sony stated that the final stages of testing their network started on May 6th, And access to third-party services came back from country to country. So it started off with the US, and then after that, the next country, the next region, they put those servers live, and then they move on to the next country and put those live as well. And on May 18th, though, Sony found an exploit in their password reset page where other users could target other users' emails and change their passwords and claim those accounts as their own. But console sign-ins were not affected. It was basically on the Sony network itself. And Sony stated that the cost of this outage was $171 million. So right now I'm going to compare both of these. So both Sony and Yahoo were victims of massive cyber attacks. And both companies were impacted financially. PlayStation from Sony lost $171 million, and Yahoo stock and the overall company value fell. For PlayStation, though, 12,000 credit card numbers, although they were stored in encrypted form and they were from non-US cardholders, were accessed, and very sensitive information was taken away. So our idea is to improve online security, even though if you look online, you can find a bunch of articles for companies or startups or online businesses to use so that they can improve their online security further. We believe that these are a few things that every company should take into consideration when they want to go online or when they want to increase their security further. So the first one is risk assessments. So firms can conduct cybersecurity risk assessments on a regular basis to mitigate the risks so they don't happen as much. Conducting these businesses keeps the company safe from being exposed to competitors, and hiring a crime consultant or risk mitigation specialist helps because they will be responsible for making sure that your company is safe from cyber attacks. Performing regular audits. When a company grows, it's on a risk of being hacked. So to minimize these events, a security audit can be performed by a cybersecurity consultant. Most firms could hire a full-time security officer because they will also be in charge of making sure that all security-related problems and the safety of the business is completely fine. Work like you expect an attack. Whenever you work, always be wary of cyber criminals, because if you work like you are expecting an attack, you will cover all your tracks and at all times, and will use the necessary strategies and plans to make sure that you don't get attacked, or at least minimize the chances. The last one that we're going to talk about is keeping records of important and sensitive information. Obviously, when you have a lot of sensitive information, you should keep a backup just in case something happens to it. In this case, data can be vulnerable to hackers if it's very sensitive information, and it should be protected first. So what firms, online businesses could do is keep a check on how this crucial data is being stored and is being accessed, and make sure that this data is not being accessed by anyone without authorization. And this is just the work cited, and thank you.